Good morning, dudes. There it is in the pocket. We're doing a quick cut test with the Kansept Fenrir. Knife that's been out for a while, but I never got around to cut testing with it until now. Unless I did and forgot about it, but I don't think so. I've got a lot of cut test videos at this point. They're all in a playlist, by the way, if you ever want to go take a look. Or if you've ever considered buying a knife but wanted to see it in action first, you could look through the playlist and see if I've done a cut test with it. Or you could just type in Duty's Daggers Fenrir cut test into YouTube. So, this is a knife that I got secondhand, and it needed a sharpening, so I put an edge on it. I just demonstrated there just now how what we're looking like edge-wise, and it's a nice, fresh, sharp edge. Let's see what this guy can do. Right off the bat, you can see that I slipped out of my cut, and that's because of the blade shape here. It's a decent slicer. You know, it did the job. It wasn't like, it wasn't super easily slicing through this cardboard, I would say, because of the blade shape and the way that the belly that kind of swoops up to the tip. It's easy to slip out, like right there. I just did it again right there. And if you're really paying attention, you can avoid doing this, but if you're just kind of going for it, you know, cutting the cardboard, trying to get the job done, you are going to slip out occasionally. Let's put the cardboard down on a flat surface and do some draw cutting, utility cutting. You can see the tips actually kind of low, and then we have all that belly that we can rock back on. So on paper, I think this is a pretty useful blade shape, but practically it doesn't feel great being up this high. You do have to kind of raise your wrist up relatively high to get to that tip, at least to where it's nicely doing the utility cut. It's definitely doable, and once you're up there, it cuts well. Just doesn't feel great being up there, you know. Make some turns. It did pretty good. What's next? Let's get out the leather glove here. I'm anticipating cutting on a flat surface, kind of this food preppy chopping kind of cutting is going to be, you know, this one of this knife's specialties because of the blade shape, because of the belly that we have. And I could tell that it was a good blade shape for this type of cutting, but something about the thicker geometry, I think, and I guess the sharpness made it kind of difficult to really get through this glove. You can tell I'm kind of having some difficulties. I think I'm through, and then I'm not. So yeah, I think that was a combination of a few things. Sharpness, we've gotten a little dull now, and just the thicker geometry. Let's try cutting this real thick rubber tubing. Kind of pierce in first and then roll around. Not too bad. This is a nice piercing tip. Let's get out the cecil rope. Oops, kind of slipped out there again. Whoop, slipped out there again. Now I can see this blade shape is starting to become useful on the cecil rope here. You know, you start toward the tip and you rock back and it's pretty nicely cutting. I can tell that it's just something about it. I can't tell if it's really the sharpness here is going away or the thickness behind the edge. Whatever it is, I had to put a lot of pressure down on the Cecil rope to get it to cut all the way through. How about some heavy-duty ratchet strap? Judging by how the test is going so far, I don't have high hopes for this. Let's try it out though. And yeah, not too bad, not too good either. More on the bad side than the good side. Not even halfway through, really. And a little bit of sawing, we can get all the way through. Let's do one more. Yeah, just it's not happening. I really think it's a lot to do with the geometry. As you'll see here, when we go cut the paper in a minute, it's still relatively sharp. I just think it's the blade shape, you know? The way that it is in relation to the handle, as soon as you put pressure into a slice, you're already starting to slide up the edge towards the tip. And then when you put more and more pressure, you get to a certain point along that edge and you slip right out. So back to the paper here. It's definitely not as sharp as it was. But I got a couple good slices on the paper. See right there and right there. So if you go fast, you can still cut paper. Going slow, it's not cutting paper. See right there. But like I said, I think it's a combination of the knife getting dull throughout the test, and then just the shape. Like I said, it's not the best for cardboard or I don't know what kind of cutting you would call the ratchet strap. Where you kind of fold it over and then cut the crease. Not sure what you'd call that, but those types of cuts are going to be a little difficult with this knife. Let's give it a strop and see what we can get back, what edge we can get back. This is S35 VN blade steel, by the way. I should have mentioned that earlier. Alright, where are we at? Definitely an improvement. Let's do a slow one and see. Yeah, got about halfway and then it kind of wanted to twist out of the cut, but definite improvement after the strop. So there you go. Overall, I think it's an absolutely wicked design. Really, really love the design. I think the blade shape is not super conducive to a lot of different kinds of cuts. It'll be decent at a lot of cutting, but not amazing in any one of them, at least from what I can see here. Ergonomically, I didn't notice any hot spots. Really, really comfortable in hand. I like the choke up spot. It's roomy. I like the little harpoon notch there. Feels comfortable on my thumb. Lock bar access is good. Action's good. And that's about it. Please like the video before you head out, folks, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.